Venture back to Hyrule and an age of magic and heroes. The predecessors of Link and Zelda face monsters on the march when a menacing magician takes over the kingdom. Only you can prevent his evil plot from shattering the land of Hyrule. In your quest, you'll venture into twisting mazes, dungeons, palaces, and shadowy forests. Test your mettle with mighty swords and magical weapons, or heft a boulder and hurl it at your enemies. If the going gets tough, dive into a river and you can swim to escape. Learn the powerful spells, locate magical artifacts, and solve the mysteries of the evil magician and the hidden realm of Hyrule. And this, of course, is Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past from Nintendo, released in 1992. Oh boy, there is so much to talk about this game. How am I going to sum this up? Let's see. Gameplay is normal old Zelda style, as opposed to the side-scrolling perspective of Zelda 2, but it does use bigger, longer maps, not just single-screen rooms. We have different heights in rooms. We can go up, we can go in the middle, we can go down, and there are two separate worlds to explore. Parallel worlds. This has become kind of a major Zelda thing, and this is where it started. Released to critical and commercial success, it was a landmark title for Nintendo and widely considered to be one of the greatest video games of all time. Over 4 million units of the game have been sold worldwide. It was ported to the Game Boy Advance with slight changes and is available for the Wii, Wii U, the new Nintendo 3DS via the Virtual Console. Nintendo re-released it in the US in September 27th as part of the Super NES Classic Edition. A successor to the game, titled A Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, was released on the 3DS in 2013. Oh boy, here's the plot. Wizard kidnaps princess, we go to save princess, we don't quite make it, everything goes wrong, we have to fix it. It's very set up trilogy kind of style with, everything going really good, then everything going really bad, then everything going really good again. Link to the Past has been one of the best-selling games, as we talked about. 4.6 million units sold worldwide, an exceptionally long stay on Nintendo Power's top games list, ranking number 2 in Nintendo Power's last issue in December 2012, when the SNES was finally retired, or the list anyway. Link to the Past had more than 5 consecutive years in the number 1 spot. It was re-released as a Player's Choice title in North America, indicating that it sold a minimum of 1 million copies. In the US, the Game Boy Advance version alone sold 1.4 million and earned 41 million by August 2006. During the period between January 2000 and August 2006, it was the 8th highest selling game launch for the Game Boy Advance, DS, or PSP in the country. Entertainment Weekly picked the game as the number 4 greatest game available in 1991, saying completely addicting, especially for unsuspecting adults. It was critically acclaimed upon release for its graphics and gameplay and has since been recognized by critics as one of the greatest video games of all time. In 2005, IGN editors placed it 11th in its top 100 games, while readers voted it to 5th. The following year, Entertainment Weekly chose it as the best game of all time. Members of GameFAQs ranked it 4th best, and readers of the Japanese magazine Famitsu ranked it 31st in a 2006 poll. It placed 3rd in Electronic Gaming Monthly's list, 23rd in Game Informer's, and 3rd on a Best 200 Nintendo Games list by Nintendo Power. In July 2007, readers of the magazine Edge voted it 6th in a poll of the 100 best games of all time. Screw Attack placed it 2nd on their list of top 20 Super Nintendo games. Games Radar named it the 3rd best Super NES game of all time, losing only to Chrono Trigger and Super Metroid. It was awarded Best Sequel of 1992 by Electronic Gaming Monthly. The game placed 8th, the 2nd highest Zelda game on the list, in official Nintendo's magazine's 100 Greatest Nintendo Games of All Time. In 2009, Game Informer put A Link to the Past 12th on their list of the top 200 games of all time, saying that it remains a blast today. This is 11 places of the rank it had back in 2001. The game was reviewed in 1993 in Dragon issue 198 by Sandy Peterson. In the Eye of the Monitor column, Peterson gave the game a 5 out of 5 stars. There is a huge legacy that goes on with this game, not counting the related games that were available all over the place, like a French version in Canada, making it the only French-only release in North America with Super Nintendo. But there's a comic book edition of Link to the Past. There is BS Zelda no Densetsu, Inishi no Sakaban, or Legend of Zelda: The Ancient Stone Tablets. It was released in Japan, used exclusively with the Famicom Satellaview peripheral. The game would make notable use of voice broadcasts called Soundlink to provide voice acting for several of the characters from A Link to the Past. It takes place 6 years after the events of A Link to the Past, set in Hyrule's Light World. Notably lacks a Link character, and instead we play a character known as the Hero of Light. We also have the Link to the Past 4 Swords and the Link Between Worlds, and of course, My goodness, 1.5 billion references. Look, all I can tell you is that this is one of the games I had when I was a kid. I played the heck out of it. I mastered it. I 100%ed it. I found all the secrets, found all the heart pieces, I found all the items. I beat the game because it was so darn good. We didn't have internet back at the time, so I couldn't go to GameFAQs and look stuff up. This was a game you just sat down and you played for the love of the game. And I can sit down and play this game for the love of it any day of the week, any time of day. This is quite possibly my favorite Zelda game of all time, and I totally agree with anybody that says this is one of the best video games of all time.